Hey good people, welcome back to Monique's Book List. So it's November 1st and it is my BookTube anniversary. I will not sing because that would just hurt us both. And I'm not trying to hurt either one of us, especially you, because I like you. Anyway, so it is my anniversary on BookTube and I've made it a year and I'm pretty proud of myself. I've done an okay job. I was gonna say amazing. I don't know if it's amazing, but I've done a good job of being consistent, providing content that I would want to watch, that I would want to watch, and I'm proud of. So what I've done is I've taken the newbie tag and kind of remixed it, and I'm calling it the anniversary tag. So I've taken many of the questions from the original tag, which I will list below, the original questions, and the original person who did the tag. I think it's a couple years old, so you can find it anywhere. And every new person who has started a channel in the last couple years, or at least the last year, has done this tag. So yeah, so I've kind of revamped some of the questions, and then I've added a few questions at the end, kind of to just express myself a little more about my experience on BookTube for the last year. So the original question was, why why did you start this channel? So the way I'm remixing the question is, what is the story behind you starting a BookTube channel? So for me, it was that a couple of things. One, I had, of course, many of you know that I got into BookTube because I watched a R&B singer by the name of Anne Marie. She is one of my favorite booktubers, and her music, I like her music also. She has a dual album out right now, so check it out. Uh, I started watching her, and then I said, if she's doing BookTube, and then she listed a bunch of her favorite booktubers, and I've watched them, and some of them were not my cup of tea, but most of them were. And so I went down the rabbit hole of BookTube, fell in love with it, and then I realized I had told a bunch of my in-laws and a bunch of my friends that I wanted to do a blog, like a writing blog of books that I would recommend, the ones I liked, and then I remembered that I hate writing. And then when I heard of BookTube, I was just like, you should start a channel. And then, of course, that in combination with finding Anne Marie, it just kind of hit me. So I sat on it for a year or so. Maybe it was 2 years um, after finding BookTube that I decided to go ahead and give it a try. So that's kind of the story behind why I started, or the story behind why I started my channel. So the next question, what for the newbie tag is, what are some fun and unique ideas you can bring to BookTube? So I would revamp it and say, what fun ideas did I bring to BookTube? I don't know if they're fun and unique. I could just tell you what. I don't know if they're unique. I could tell you the fun ones. I enjoyed reading for less, even though a lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed talking about my favorite romance books, my favorite mysteries, and I also really enjoyed talking about the tags where it was book versus movie or movie versus book, or have you read that, which is the most recent tag I did. I've enjoyed a lot of book reviews. I enjoyed like talking about books, and yeah, so I don't know if there's anything unique so far that I've done for the community of BookTube, but I have a lot of fun doing this. So next was, why do you love reading? It's kind of a hard question to answer for me. Reading has been something that has been a part of my life since I can I can remember. I mean, I come from a very religious family, so reading the Bible was important for my grandparents and my mother, and then reading Christian books, that weren't necessarily Bible, but kind of like steeped in Christianity, and then moving on to comic books, and then moving from comic books to, tween novels, and then moving on and on and on. Why do I like it? I guess you can say for escapism and adventure, that you can read about 70 different people. If you read 70 different novels, you can read about 70 different experiences in life. So that's amazing, and I think I love reading because for me, one, it like I said, it's been essential to my life since I was little. Two, escapism and adventure, and three, because through the escapism and adventure, it feeds my creativity and it helps me think about things in a different and abstract way. So I enjoy that aspect of reading. For me, that's what it does. So I'm really excited about, that's why I enjoy reading. I skipped the question. I think I skipped. The question I skipped was, what are you most excited for with this new channel? And it really, honestly, what excites me still about my channel is that I still get to express my point of view about books. I still am excited to give recommendations about books. And another thing that I feel like has excited me the most recent is discovering books that I would have never picked up myself, just because some person on the internet who I've come to respect and appreciate their opinion has said, "Hey, you might want to pick this book up." I've done that several times. One of the most, I don't know how to say this. One of the people who I respect the most on this BookTube community, in the BookTube community, outside of, of course, Anne Marie, is Bobby Reads Too Much, or Bobby, just Bobby. You all know Bobby. I talk about her quite a bit. A lot of the suggestions she gave that I have read, I have enjoyed. I don't think there's been one that I've been like, okay, that wasn't my cup of tea. Now, there has been a book that she and I have read that it wasn't her suggestion, but it's one of her favorite books that I actually don't like. But I understand why she likes it. I appreciate why she likes it. So I like that. But it was exciting to read a book called Jane Doe. I would have never picked that book up. I would have never picked it up on my own. But, getting a recommendation to try it by Bobby, and I did, and I enjoyed it. Red Sister. What was another one? She suggested so many that I've liked. I even read one that she suggested that she wound up not liking that I did like, The English Wife. So I think that's one of the most exciting things about having a channel and just watching BookTube in general, is that finding books that you would just never pick up or consider on your own. Okay, so the next question is, what book or series have gotten you into reading? So I guess the question was, what book or series got me into reading? Most of you know that the book that got me into reading was a comic book, the Archie comics, that's really cemented the fact that I want to read. Is there a series right now that continues to pull me in? Everyone knows I'm reading the Pendergast series. We're starting the 4th book in the month of November, which is, starting today. So, or I guess it's night. So I guess it started today. I forgot where I was going with that. So yeah, those are the series that I'm kind of excited about reading right now. Next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? Very simple. What you reading? What you reading? That's it. And then the next question was, it said, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So that was the original question. My remix question is, what have been and what challenges do I see for myself going in the future? The biggest challenge for me is kind of losing myself a bit, and also getting hung up on numbers and views. I've kind of lost myself, because when I say I've lost myself, I think it was that I lost my perspective on why I started my channel. And then I got caught up in numbers, and I was constantly checking numbers. And the thing about checking numbers is, just like if you're on a weight loss program or anything, if you're ready to go home from work and you watching the clock, the more you pay attention to the minute thing, the thing that although it be something be of importance, it's distracting, like numbers. And I had to remind myself literally just recently, why are you doing this? And why is this important to you? And just consider the fact that I've learned so many skills just from starting a YouTube channel. I never would have considered myself a video editor. I would have never considered myself a content creator until I did this. And although with BookTube, the content format is kind of some creators would say simple and simplistic, but the best things are simple and simplistic. And so yeah, that was the hardest thing to get over. I'm still in it, but I am very proud of my progress. I'm very proud of my commitment to my channel, and I'm very proud of the end product of my channel. So yeah, that was the hardest thing, and it still is a hard thing. I have to constantly remind myself that the numbers matter to some degree, but at the end of the day, I'm putting out content that I can be proud of. So yeah. The next question is, when did you start reading? My tweens, like, can really reading was my tweens. But as I said, reading has been a part of my life since I've understood, you know, English. So, yeah. All right. The next question is, where do you read? Anywhere. Absolutely anywhere. And the next question after that is, what kind of books are you into? I'm pretty much into anything but horror. Horror books, horror movies, I'm not into it. And I'm not really big into a lot of contemporary books that I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I find myself on the fence about with a lot of contemporary. All right, so those were the original questions from the newbie tag. Now we're going to start into questions that I've added to this tag, or the new questions for the anniversary portion of it. So the next question that I created was, what have you learned about BookTube in the last year? I've learned a lot. I learned that it's not easy. I learned that you have to be dedicated. I've learned that you have to be mindful in the content you put up. I have a scar there? Sorry, I just got distracted. I have a scar there. Again, you have to be mindful of the content. You have to be purposeful in what you put up. And it's probably one of the most welcoming communities. Now, with that being said, I have also learned that BookTube is very cliquish. It is extremely cliquish. And that's okay, because whenever you get a large group of people, they grouping off into small groups is natural, because we are humans, and humans evolved in tribes, so we become a little tribal. And I've noticed that that every part of life is the same way. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're in a book community, if you're in any type of community, there will be cliques. It's just natural. You gravitate towards people that you feel like you have the most interest, you have the most things in common with, and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a bit cliquish. You can feel like an outsider quite a bit if you don't somehow get into one of those cliques, and that's okay. I've never been a very extremely popular person. And I'm not saying that like, woe is me, because my life is blessed. I have a wonderful life, and I am proud and happy to have the life I have. I'm proud and happy to have the subscribers that I have. I'm proud and happy to have made the friends in this community that I have. I believe that if I met Bobby in person, she and I would be friends. I believe the young lady from Happy for Now, she and I would be friends. Steeped in books, she and I would be friends. So I believe that the community that I have created in my subscribers, who the young lady out of England, I would love to like have a conversation with her and over tea, and I really do drink tea. I didn't just say that because you're British, darling. I promise you. But yeah, I the community that I have created here, I'm very happy to be a part of. And the interactions that I have had with booktubers, big or small, has been very pleasant. But I have seen the drama on Twitter for BookTube, And I have realized that there are cliques. There are cliques of the YA. There are cliques of romance. There's cliques of adult contemporary. I see it. It's funny to me. It's funny, but it also just continuously reminds me that the humans will bring, I don't know how to say it the way I want to say it without coming off like judgmental or preachy, but just know that it is a little clicky, and it's okay if you're not in those cliques. It's all right. Find your tribe. You will find it in BookTube. I promise you, and you will enjoy it. But again, most of the people here are amazing. They're kind, and most are very open and very progressive. They don't really care as long as you're not bringing no drama. Um, yeah, so that's what I've learned about BookTube in the last year. The next question that I created was, have you enjoyed yourself? I have very much. Has it always been fun? No. And what I mean by no is there was a young lady who posted a video about BookTube drama, and she talked about this, and it was I know a lot of people don't like her. I'm going to put her name here, and I'm going to put a link to the video below. There's two things, and I don't like giving disclaimers, but I don't want you to go there and like be put off. She has a very matter-of-fact attitude about who she is and about her point of view, and about just about how she feels. However, if you truly you strip away like the brassness of how she's saying it, what she's saying is on point. And she said that basically when you are putting in a lot of effort and you feel like someone just comes in and they shoot to the top and you're like, hey, I'm consistent. Hey, I did this, I did that. I feel like my content is just as good as theirs, and yet I have less views. So that part hasn't been fun, but that's my problem, not yours, not the other booktubers. That's my problem. That's for me to fix. That's for me to change my mindset on why I'm doing this and to manage my expectations of this YouTube channel. So again, but outside of me having to adjust and manage my expectations on the growth part, I have had nothing but fun. I can't tell you like how many people I have just like come across reading and just like talking to and sharing thoughts about content and learning new things and opening myself up to things I thought I would never do. Like I was never a YA reader, I thought, but I've read a lot of YA in the last year, and I'm quite proud of myself and excited that I've done that I haven't let myself stay stagnant in something. So yeah, I was just getting off on a tangent, but I'm very proud that I have allowed myself to open up and be receptive to different books. And also I found a sense of pride in the type of books I read. I was not very proud of the fact that I read romance and smut because I didn't want to be looked down as like kind of a less than reader or someone who's just reading mommy porn or whatever. And I'm okay with that. If you think I read mommy porn, I do. Okay. Well, we good. So yeah, I was very proud that I found a sense of like pride in not being ashamed that I read romance, and not being ashamed that I read that one of my favorite books is probably one of the most problematic YA books out or series there is. Yeah. Anyway, what was the next? Next question is, are you planning to change anything going forward? Yes. I'm going to create a trailer for my channel. I am going to try to be more social. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be more active on like Twitter and other social formats. What else is there? I have a lot of new content coming, and I am going to cut back on my reading because I have found that as of right now, I have read over 120 books, but it is nearing the end of the year, and I'm kind of really reaching a slump, and it is because I have read too much and I'm kind of over it. And I think I did that because how I thought I needed, I needed to do this to create content to keep my channel going and things like that. But I have a lot of new ideas for my next year coming up. And I'm so excited about the new types of, content that I'm going to be producing. But yeah, just a few things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back. I've been told. I have been just going back and forth with the idea of talking about more comic books on this channel because I enjoy them, I like them, and I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna have a comic corner of my channel, a comic corner where a video will be like a 10-minute video a month about my favorite comic books, the comic books I've read during the month, and just kind of talking about, what interests me about comic books. And again, I will tell you now and before I start that, I know this much about comic books when the world of comics is great. I am a novice when it comes to comic books, but I'm going to share what I know. Yeah, and I have a couple formats of different types of videos. I've introduced one already called the 15-minute wrap up, where I'll do a wrap up monthly. After reading a shit ton of books, I decide I'm gonna do a wrap up for 15 minutes and try to see how many books I can get in that wrap up. All right, and I do want to interact more with a bunch of smaller YouTubers, booktubers, because again, I find that it's easier for us to communicate because there's our subscriber count is a little smaller, and it's easier to respond to people when you're a little smaller than when you get big. It's kind of hard to reply to 50,000 comments when you can reply to 10 or 5 or 6 or even 100 comments. So I do want to interact more with booktubers around my size or a little bigger. So what's the next question? That was it. Okay, so I have 2 more questions and I think I'm done. So the next question is, what would you tell a person who wants to start a booktube channel? I would tell you first, don't think about it too hard, just do it. Don't worry about cameras, don't worry about lighting, don't worry about having the look, don't worry about being the right age, don't worry about any of that. Do it. I promise you, if you do it and you do it in the right mindset of, I just want to talk about books, I just want to share my opinion about books, and I want to interact with people who are also talking about books and sharing their opinions, and I'm just excited about that, do it. Some other things I would warn you about is don't get caught up in the numbers because you will lose your love for it. Don't overcenter yourself either, and be yourself. That's another thing that I have discovered about myself is I haven't really fully been myself yet. And you guys are like, girl, what else you got? A lot, darling, a lot. But trust me, you're going to get all of me. And there's a lot. Okay, we stop. Anyway. So my last question is, who do I tag? So Bobby just had her anniversary, but Bobby, if you want to answer the new questions, you're more than welcome to. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. If you want to answer them, you can. Happy for now. Queen of Romance. Who else? Oh my God. There's so many people. Steeped in Books. I don't know if your anniversary may not be coming up, but if you just want to answer these last 5 questions about how you felt about even just the last year, it's not fiscal, the last calendar year of YouTube, I would love to hear your opinion. Or if you have some suggestions on what you would like to see on this channel for my next year, please do not hesitate to comment below. If you have any suggestions about books, please do not hesitate to comment below. And I just want to say thank you for taking this journey with me. It has been fun. We have so much more to do together. I'm excited. And it's, of course, the end of the year, so we have a bunch of the end of the year wrap-up tags and videos you're going to see. And, of course, we got most anticipated books. You got the book stats, you got the best of, worst of. You'll see all those tags and videos going up, and I will be joining in those too because I quite enjoy those types of videos. But yeah, so thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. All right, so that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Bye.